Hello, hello, hello. It's a brand new day, and this is our morning connection. How you doing this morning? I'm Skip LaCour, coming back to you again. Just two men going through the journey of life together, you and me. I appreciate this mutual connection that we have together. Just two men checking in, getting your game face on for today. Just comparing notes, getting our minds right as we take on yet another day. I'm so glad you are here. Hey, say hello when you come on to our daily habit, our daily ritual, our daily discipline. Tell me what you're loving about these morning connection live broadcasts. And if you aren't watching me live, that is fine too. And I want you to tell me what you're getting out of this. Say hello. I'll always acknowledge you for being here. And I know that we have an international audience, so it may not be morning where you are. It's just whether it's morning, noon, night, whatever it is. I'm so glad that you're checking in. Did you go to bed last night with a plan? Something that you were going to get done today? A small thing, maybe a huge thing. You're going to chip away, maybe something in between that was going to put you forward. And so over the course of the night, it just kind of marinated, and you woke up excited starting off your day. I said it's 3 o'clock in the morning here. Do this morning connection here, checking in with you, connecting. Again, I appreciate this time. It forces me to step up and get myself clear. You're the first person I'm talking to this morning. Many times that is the case. Hey, today, something that I wanted to just bring up, something that I observed. And then I was thinking, well, what am I trying to do when I come here? I'm trying to attract men like you, people who are going in the same direction that I'm going. You know, am I necessarily trying to save the world and anybody and everybody in it? No, because I don't think that's necessarily possible. Because it doesn't matter how valuable I think my information is, my insight, my perspective is. It doesn't matter how many references I've helped out men all over the world get closer and closer to what they want in life through my one-on-one coaching. You know, I don't have the skill set to just help everybody through every challenge. There's a lot of things that I'm not familiar with. The things that I am familiar with, that I have focused on, I mean, that's where I stay in my lane, and that's what I feel very comfortable doing. So I like to attract people who have the same thought process, that are going in the same direction. Maybe they have the same challenges that I do. One thing that is really rewarding for me is when someone's had the same challenges I do. They're going through them, and they're trying to get objectivity and perspective, and they've tried to do it alone. And somehow they connect through one of these live broadcasts, maybe something I say in one of my workouts for older men broadcasts, where they can really connect to me. They reach out, and we find that we've had similar journeys. And that happens a lot, believe it or not, right? And that's what I intend to do, because that's what I have experienced going through, breaking down, and eventually cracking the code in certain areas. And it's a continual process, right? I don't spend, there's certain challenges and journeys that I might have a lot of empathy and understand directionally where the challenge is and things like that. I may not be the best person suited towards that. So what I tend to talk about the things that I know, the direction where I'm going, and I don't really worry about a lot of things that don't fit that direction, because I know that if I just stay in my lane, talk about the things I know about, I help the most people the most effectively and efficiently. I don't spread myself thin trying to understand everybody's experience. And that's worked out really well for me. Relationships become more effortless. Right? Because there's plenty of people on this planet to help that, right? The reason why I'm saying that is, in this fitness world, there's a particular situation where an Instagram influencer, coach, online coach type, it was a woman, and maybe you've seen the story, because if you have a passion for fitness, it's going to show up on your feed. And I just thought it was really interesting that how my interpretation of what probably happened with this situation is far, far different than how a lot of people in fitness are taking this ball, so to speak, and just running with it, with their interpretation and taking it for how they see the world, right? And putting this situation in that box to reinforce their way of thinking, right? And I've always seen this. I've been in this fitness world for 30 years through the emergence of the internet. And one thing that I have always noticed, and I can pretty much predict this pattern, is when you have someone who always talks negatively about other people, and they have their judgment of, and they climb into that person's mind and tell you how horrible they are, and they spread it off to this big generic thing, how horrible people are. It is just a matter of time. On that thread, someone is going to tell them how horrible they are, right on their page, right on their social media platform, right? It's going to happen, right? Because if you're always speaking negatively about other people, you're attracting certain people who see the world in a negative manner. They don't see people in the positive light. They're always looking to be screwed. They think the world's a dark place. And so if you continually talk about that stuff, you're going to attract people and it's just a matter of time before they turn on you. I've seen this so many times before, because there's a lot of people who really love focusing on the bad things, preparing themselves for the worst. They have many references in their mind about people doing bad things. And I'm not saying that there aren't those things. But invariably, if those are the things you talk about and then you get an audience who's interested in that, it's just a matter of time that they're going to turn on you too. And so I just thought it was interesting because, as I come to you, I'm trying to think of life lessons that may be beneficial to you, observations that I see, all right? Something that, through my life journey might help you. But then I thought about it, the men who I attract, they don't even worry about stuff like that, right? So I wouldn't, the men who I serve that, go on journeys with me, come from coaching, they wouldn't even know that's going on. And they certainly wouldn't spend that time talking about it and using it as a platform for their agenda and how the world's a horrible place. They don't think that way. So all of that information, all that story that's so popular on the internet, it wouldn't interest them, right? So then I'm thinking, well, why would I bring that up? Because the guys I talk to, they see, the thing about it is when you have a plan for your life, you already know that there's negative people. You're not looking to be screwed. You understand that you're looking for the people who are like you, who think like you, to go into a certain direction. And, I guess that's the thing that I just want to talk about is if you don't like the surrounding of the people you are, and it can't be just, horrible, horrible people, but if there aren't people who are driven, who are ambitious, who think the way where you aspire to be, right? You're not there yet, but you want to get people who are at your level or above. Your thoughts, your action, it's got to match those people you want to be above. It's who you talk about. What you don't talk about will really attract the type of people that you're around, and the type of people you're around, it will determine your whole world. And any way, those are just some thoughts that I had about this, is that, some of the things that interest a lot of people, the masses, if you're going to have the life that you want, there's not necessarily going to be a lot of people going in your direction. What's popular to the masses, the people, and God bless them, going through their particular journey, going through their particular challenge, there's not going to be a lot of people. Right? You don't need a lot of people in your circles to make the huge impact to go into your direction. Right? And if you think about it, right? If you want to work so hard that you're the 1 out of 10, the 2 out of 10, the top 20, the top 10%, just by nature, there's only going to be 2 out of 10 people who are going to get you, who are going to align with you to go in the same direction. I don't know, as I say this too, I just think, I talk to men all the time on the phone, where they're calling me about personal development coaching like this, business, life, love, going, having feelings and emotions, or it's about training, eating, fitness strategies, whatever it is. They're just focused on where they're going. Maybe they're trying to get connected, and maybe it's a partner trying to get on the same page or something like that. But they're not open to what the masses think. They're not distracted. I don't know if that's helpful, right? Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying here, and it's so you got to become the person that you want to be around. And like I said, is that a lot of the things that are talked about the internet, they're just not conversations that the men that, who I hang around, they just don't talk about it. You only have so much willpower, focus, energy, and time. Sometimes it's a relief to get involved in the soap opera life, other people's drama, and sometimes, the people on the internet, they're, I can't climb inside. They might have no idea what's going on in their head. But sometimes there's this, I notice this fake outrage and this moral high ground that everybody takes, and they state the obvious about how bad people are in their position. It's like, yeah, if you're top 20%, just find your two people who are like you. Think like them, walk like them, talk like them, all the conversations directed. Because if you start bringing that interesting stuff to the other 8, they're going to draw you in, or you're already in without knowing it, if I want to be a little bit, self-awareness for yourself. Just some things to think about. Musashi, good evening to you in Japan. Lavar, my guy Skip, thanks so much for taking the time to speak to me. Thank you so much for reaching out, Lavar. It was really great talking to you. Lavar kind of reached out, talked about motivation during yesterday's morning connection. I just gave him my Google phone and had him call me on his lunch break, and we got to talk for a little while. I enjoyed that. I love doing this for you, Lavar. I was thinking about the direction of this morning connection, because whether it's a podcast, I've done hundreds and hundreds of podcasts. This show, we've been doing this for this stretch of time. I don't care how interesting a person might be. All right, there's only so many things one person can talk about. I would love to, with this technology, there's so much technology where I can make this interactive. See, I grew up, if you're a little bit older like me, I grew up with AM talk radio, where, it was the dialogue back and forth on AM radio, if you even know what that is. I mean, the guys who are a little bit older than me, the crowd that I attract my age, you know what that is. I mean, I grew up listening to that, like 14 years old, that dialogue back and forth, and those of you, good morning, Paul. So Paul's been around with me a long time, 20 plus years, right? Paul, I say 20 years, but I realize that I retired from competitive bodybuilding 16 years ago. So we're probably getting closer to 25 years, right? Hello, Caesar. Good to have you here. And one thing that I'd write on with this internet thing, I just saw on, scrolling down Twitter before I came on that today YouTube is, it was established on this day in 2005. I'm thinking, wow, time goes by quickly. Pre-YouTube days, if you can believe that, right? But way back before that, before 2005, I used to do this because I love this interactive AM talk radio on Blog Talk Radio back in the days. And I used to love it back then. Podcasting wasn't so popular where you could listen to the podcast at your convenient time. So I'd have this Sunday morning show at 7 o'clock, bodybuilding and training. And back in those days when everything wasn't so convenient, men would look forward to call me, and we would have an interactive bodybuilding talk show. And I just thought it was awesome. So there wasn't so much pressure on me to be brilliant every single day, because it would be stimulated, by the conversation back and forth. I would love to have something like this going on with you. I would love to have it going on. All right, guys. So, hey, so if you have any questions, feel free to send me a direct message. If you want me to be, if you want to be anonymous, with your questions, that would be great. We should start sending in, just send me a direct message, send me an email at skip@skiplacore.com. Let me know. I won't even have to mention your name, and we can make this more interactive, and it'll take some pressure off me. I can continue to come to you every single day with something new, fresh, exciting. Yet it's something that you need to hear, right? Because like I said, I don't care how interesting somebody is. Gonna run out of material when it's just me coming from my experience. That's why I like to look back on the last couple of days of the men. Maybe it's you I talked to, and then anonymously I can talk about that experience, because I know doing this for so long, talking to so many men, it's something that can help out a lot of people, right? Hey, one other thing is, I just launched this 12-week fitness transformation journey for older men with busy, productive life. And I tell you, this has been one of the best experiences for me, because I've really intensified my relationship helping out men with their fitness journeys, right? So right now we're in week number 3 of the actual fitness journey, but I wanted this to be different than just something online and generic talking about fitness or whatever it may be. And so what I did is I had 3 one-hour coaching sessions with the men who signed up to go on this 12-week fitness journey, where I talked to them personally, one-on-one. All right, the first hour we talked about a goal-setting session. This is where my personal development and understanding why we do the things we do, help them break down their challenges and what are the solutions. Hour or so of power to get them clear and get them focused. Why fitness is so important to that person. And everybody's different. It's a story we make up in our minds why we must take more control of our fitness. Session number 2, we broke down training, right? What do you need to do? What are your ideas, beliefs about what you have to do to train, all right? The strategies that you've heard. So much confusion about that. And then coming out of that second session with a training strategy that works for you and your schedule, that you believe in, so you can put all your energy into it. Not so much uncertainty looking around for the best training strategy. You'll understand how all those training strategies can work, and maybe even the perspective from the fitness experts who are giving all those training strategies. And then the third hour is about nutrition. I tell you, there's a lot of blocks, a lot of frustration, a lot of confusion about nutrition. All right, because you hear so many things. It gets to be so specific about certain things where, a man with a busy, productive life, he doesn't need to know all those things that are confusing him. Just needs to know the basics and just be consistent with them. So the third hour, I break down what they know, what they don't know, what they need to know about nutrition to just complement their life, not take over their life, but be some fitness expert, all right? And then come up with an eating plan that they feel comfortable. Again, the more certainty and confidence, the more you can just do it and do the things that you need to do it and do it better and better. And so these 3 hours have been so powerful. And then we went on a 12-week journey. I've kind of adopted, and I've had so many men who over the last couple months I've taken through that process, is that I want to extend that offer to you. I'm going to post, kind of a little description of what goes on down below. But if you're challenged with your fitness, I think I've come up with a really effective way of coaching you. Do it in these 3 sessions. If you're really struggling with this fitness, trying to understand, wondering why there's so much frustration, confusion, overwhelm, especially if you're a little bit older like me and you don't want to be a fitness expert. You don't want to train 6 days a week for 2 hours a day. You don't want to spend all day prepping meals or packing all your food and those type of things that, the more extreme, passionate, younger fitness experts are doing and telling you to do. There is a way that you can be more effective and efficient where this fitness, you can get control over it and it can complement your life. So I'm going to send that out there if you're interested in those 3 coaching sessions with me, one-on-one. I'm going to post that down below. Right, let me just see if anybody else is here. And again, if you're attracted to this mindset, so if you know its importance to making your fitness journey easier, right? Waking up with your game face on, you love this connection because you apply it to whatever your goals are in life. Reach out. I have the Morning Connection Man Formation course, the mindset and actions of a powerful alpha male, a leader. You invest in that course. 11 hours audio course with videos, 6 different sessions. I'm going to spend some time with you one-on-one so we can get you clear and focused. So why you want to become that man. A lot of guys, they say to me, I want to do this goal so I can be more confident, right? Whether it's their fitness or whatever, that'll give them more confidence. And I always say, if you had more confidence, what would that do for you? And then they would say, I would get a promotion at my job. And then I'd say, okay, well, what would that do for you? Right? I'd earn more money. And then what would that do for you? Right? And sometimes it's a sense of control over their future, maybe erasing the past, getting out of stressful situations, having more certainty and confidence, control of their situation, right? It goes down a path of feelings and emotions, help them break those down and then create a path of actually doing that, right? So take advantage of that too, guys. All right, guys. Okay. So again, I'm going to put those offers down below. Reach out to me this weekend. I really spend the weekends. Here we are on Friday. I spend the weekends just connecting. Throughout the week you've been listening to this Morning Connection. You want to reach out, talk to me like LeVar did. Just go ahead and do that. Let me post that number down below for you. This is my Google phone number. It connects to my home office, 213-973-8790. If there's anything I talked about you want to talk about a little bit more, I'm getting a lot of, because I'm doing this consistently, doing this Morning Connection, it's really stimulating a lot of the imagination and thoughts of those men, similar interests. If you've been watching this, you and I, we have a similar interest, and they're reaching out, and whether it's fitness or more. And I really appreciate the connection. So this is time to reach out. I spend my weekends, I designate time just to talk to new people. Right during the week, I work with my one-on-one coaching clients. And a lot of guys say, well, what do you benefit by spending so much time? Well, number one, I have things to talk about as I come to this Morning Connection. But also on my YouTube videos, it helps me be a better and better coach. Because I tell you, it doesn't matter how much I know, it doesn't matter how many people who I've already helped. I mean, the art of communication and motivating and get people to take action. I mean, it is just like working out. There's always higher and higher and higher levels, and I love the process of helping you. It helps me too get more out of life and get better perspective. All right, so reach out this weekend, right? If you love this, it's time to take action. It's time to take action. All right, if you're a little bit older like I am, got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Time to take action. Take on the day with a sense of urgency. If that's working out, eating right, but also doing something that puts you ahead at the job or putting your business together. Connect with that sense of urgency today. Expect the best from yourself. Expect the best from your efforts. Expect the best from other people, that they are like you, right? They think like you. You've attracted that crowd. You talk about the things that are putting you in the direction that you want to go to, and you're attracting people like that, right? Your influence will pay off, all right? So expect the best in yourself, expect the best in your efforts, and expect the best in the people you interact with. All right, guys, have a great day.